Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Hope you're all doing well. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to leave Real Madrid. According to reports from Portugal this morning, an irreversible decision has been made. Deja vu, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it all before. Look, all I'm going to say straight away is about this on Cristiano Ronaldo is please stop. I know he's not going to stop, but please stop, because for some people, I think they look at the Ronaldo United rumours and they're like, I'm fed up with this. And there's a massive part of me that is. But the Ronaldo leaving Real Madrid, Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United thing, if I could explain it to you, it's like when everybody, it's like being in this great relationship that you're absolutely in love with somebody, and all you can remember is the great walks in the park, the great you-know-what, the cinema, the restaurants, the great laughs you had, and then it ended because they left you. And then over the following 10 years, what they've done is, over that 10 years, instead of letting you move on and saying, I'll never come back to you, I left you for a reason, I don't want you anymore, they sort of keep referring back to, those great times together, maybe I'll come back, those great times. And we are like that jilted partner who is like, I shouldn't do this, but nothing else will ever measure up. No matter who we bring in, no matter how many other partners we try in that number 7 shirt, they never measure up to old Ronaldo. And he keeps hinting that he's coming back, and we can't help ourselves. He should never go back, but we can't help ourselves. We want him back. We love him. We want to go back to those days, those best days they've ever been. We want it back. And what really should happen is, for us, if he really loves Manchester United, he should either come back or say, I'm never coming back. And I know that's not realistic, because maybe scenarios will fall into place where Ronaldo does want to come back. But for us as fans every year, it is horrible. It is absolutely horrible to have to keep going through this and getting our hopes up. But I think that's why we do. For some of us, that is why we do, because he's the best number 7 we've had in my lifetime. He is the best lover. He is the best number 7. And you should never go back, of course. Of course you shouldn't. But he's the best. And he's the best. And nobody else measures up. And he keeps hinting that he wants to come back. And while he keeps doing that, even though every year I've said, don't want him back now, he's getting too old, I'll take him back. But it won't stop. And why should it stop? Because the reality is, when you took in Ronaldo's shoes, why should it stop? He was offered a contract. He wanted a contract last year. He wasn't delivered to him by Real Madrid. He feels he's worth more money. So of course, Ronaldo, if he was given that money by Real Madrid, which he may well be given, he may stay. And maybe that's what he wants to do. But if they don't give it him, it's his right to go. And if scenarios fall into place, of course he should mess around with Real Madrid. Of course he should barter and make manoeuvres to say, it's irreversible, I'm going to go, to try and get the money out of them. Or if they don't give him the money, he goes, and maybe Manchester United becomes an option. If, like Jose Mourinho said a couple of weeks ago to The Record, which is a Portuguese paper, which is also saying this about Ronaldo leaving, if Ronaldo was available, United would be in for him. That's basically what he said. United as a club would be in for him, and that's quite right. But he didn't feel that he would ever be allowed to leave Real Madrid. So why does Ronaldo suddenly think that he can do that? I don't know. But of course I would love to take him back. Of course I don't believe he'll ever come back. And part of me just thinks the day that Ronaldo just retires, which I never want to come either, will be quite... at least this will all stop. And it needs to stop from a Manchester United point of view, because it's very, very, very difficult for us. But a year ago, almost, it was the end of June last year, This happened with Ronaldo. He was leaving Real Madrid, and then he stayed a year, and he didn't get the contract he wanted, and now I think he wants to go. But the thing about Real Madrid is it's the same about Bale, isn't it? They haven't got a manager at the moment, and the new manager could come in and totally rejuvenate what they're all about. So it's difficult. What have I missed, says Jacob Morel. Well, we're just talking about the Ronaldo thing, and Keshav says, I don't think he'll leave Ronaldo. I don't think he'll leave. I think this time he might well go, but I think if Zidane was staying, he probably would have stayed, but I think it might be the time for him to go. But if they give him the money, he will go. If they don't give him the money, he's going to stay, isn't he? Anyway, we've got lots to talk about tonight. Mourinho, Real Madrid, Fred injury scare, and we've got a great World Cup predictor game for you. Link in the video description for the Super Brew for that, which if anyone can remember from last season, it's free to enter. There's no sign up or anything like that. It's free to play. It's a bit of fun. We did it for the Premier League last year. We're doing it for the World Cup. The link in the video description for that, and I'll go through how you play that in a minute because we've got our own league for it. Let's just talk about the Fred injury. So Fred is on World Cup duty at the moment with Brazil. He's basically taken a hard tackle from Casemiro. There are pictures of him holding his face and all this. Liverpool fans are all over it because they think Fabinho's going to get called up. He's not even on standby, so sit down. But obviously the severity of the injury is a little bit of a concern for United fans. Hopefully he's going to be all right. These things happen, don't they? He's not. I know he's. I mean, have we officially even signed him yet? I don't know. If he had a really serious injury, maybe we could pull out. But I'm sure it's not going to be that bad. It's just something that has been mentioned a little bit. Why am I not talking about Griezmann? Says MDF Gaming HD. Because we spoke about Griezmann last night, and unless something new comes in, at the end of the day, the Griezmann rumour was because of a Reddit post. We're not going to do other videos on Griezmann we spoke about it last night. If it turns out to be credible, then we'll do more videos on Griezmann. But as I sit here now, I don't believe Griezmann's coming to Manchester United. I don't. I really don't. And actually, if you listen and speak to people today who know a little bit, who have been quite successful with United transfers lately, none of them are talking about Griezmann to United because it's not going to happen, is it? Messi has actually come out and spoken positively about playing with Griezmann today. I think he's probably going to go to Barcelona. Interestingly, we wouldn't get Ronaldo for a sensible price, says Ryan C. Well, can I just throw a question to you lot, actually? It was in the Metro, so it's a load of nonsense, more than likely. But it was something along the lines of United willing to swap Ronaldo for Bale and £132 million. Sorry, for Pogba. So we'd give them Pogba and £132 million for Ronaldo. Now, I don't think anybody, tell me in the live comments if anybody would do that. Maybe there are some people. I mean, I was talking about Pogba on That's Football at lunchtime today because 70% of the French nation that was surveyed don't want him playing for France, which is amazing. Apparently it's because he doesn't look committed and he's very inconsistent. Some United fans would say, well, that sounds familiar, but come on, Paul Pogba would walk into the England team, so surely he should be playing for France. I mean, Matuidi. Anyway, so I wouldn't swap Ronaldo, Pogba and £132 million for Ronaldo in a million years. What I might do is I might swap Pogba for Ronaldo. That I might do. And I know a lot of you would still say no, but Ronaldo's still the best player in the world as far as I'm concerned. Not as far as Marcus Rashford's concerned, by the way. Marcus Rashford has spoken very highly about Ronaldo, but said Messi's the greatest. I disagree with you, Rashford. Ronaldo's the greatest, but we're not going into that debate because it will go off on one. Charlie Collins says Pogba plus £130 million would be stupid. Yeah, and Susan McKerney says, no, I wouldn't swap Pogba at all. I'd swap Pogba for Ronaldo as a straight swap, I would. Tommy Harold says no. And I would not sell Pogba for Ronaldo, says Keaton. And not Pogba for Ronaldo either, says Gabriel. So a lot of people are saying no, even though. Although, what are you looking for, says Pogba out. Fred's not injured. He's taken a tackle. We'll see what happens. It looks like one on the ankle. So ankle injuries tend to be sore, bruised. You're unlucky if you do anything really, really bad. Swap Alexis Sanchez for Ronaldo. I think I'd swap Alexis Sanchez for Nathan Redmond at the moment. I'm only joking. I think he's going to have a really good pre-season and I think he'll come back really, really good. But let's talk about this one from one controversial thing to another. It's a good show tonight, isn't it? We've done the Fred injury. We've done Ronaldo. Let's do Jose Mourinho now. So there was a report again from, I don't think this was Portugal. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it might have been Portugal. I forget who it was. I think it was Portugal or Spain. And they were talking about Real Madrid, obviously looking for a new manager, approaching Jose Mourinho. And of course, that prompted some excitement under some people. I don't know whether Andrew Ellis is on the live comments tonight. I'm sure he'd be absolutely ecstatic to think that Real Madrid might take Mourinho off our hands. I mean, what do you think on that? What would you do if Mourinho went, I'm off? Because Real Madrid want me. I mean, obviously we'd get compensation, but it has happened before. What would you feel about that? Would you feel happy about that? Would you feel sad about it? I'll tell you how I would feel. I don't think it's not going to happen. I mean, he's just signed 2 players for a start, so why would that happen? I think also, I don't think Real Madrid really would want Mourinho. I don't think Mourinho really would want to go back to Real Madrid. It's not going to happen. But it did make me laugh when it came out because I thought there are going to be United fans who are getting excited about that, thinking, please do take him, which is a sad state of affairs. I mean, I really do back Jose for his 3rd year. I really do. But even if you're not sure about him, I do think just get behind him for this 3rd year because I think it's obviously going to happen. And he's got to be given that opportunity. Gilday Gaming says it depends who we get. I mean, Zidane, who would never come to United, says Don. A lot of people, I think, would swap Mourinho for Zidane. I wouldn't do it now. I'd see where we are with Mourinho next year. I mean, I appreciate it's not been a great year for us, but he's already started making changes that I think are positive to the coaching staff and the players, and I would let him continue with that. Mourinho's got a long future here, says Sandeep. Don't think he'll go to a club that will sack him for a year or two later. And Mark, sorry I'm late. What did I miss? Fred injured. Ronaldo, help please. Thanks, says Carlos. Just watch it from the start, mate. Wouldn't happen. I will recap in a minute. Give it a go till the end of the season, and I would swap Fellaini and Jones for Ronaldo, says Liam Miles. They might go for that. Of course they won't do. Perez again. He will always want United players, and now Mourinho, says the Delta 57. I don't think Real Madrid... It would be very much like Fellaini going to Arsenal and how the Arsenal fans have reacted to that. They don't want it to happen. I think Real Madrid fans would be much the same. I don't think they would want Jose Mourinho. He didn't get on with the fans particularly well there. He upset legends like Ramos and Casillas. I just think it's a nonsense story, and I think somebody's just thought, oh, Real Madrid are looking for a manager. Let's mention Manchester United's manager, because that's going to make a lot of people read our article. And I think there's more chance of Sean Dyche managing Real Madrid than Jose Mourinho. That's how little I think it is. And just talking about chances, I'll just go back to the first topic we were talking about, which was Ronaldo. So the Ronaldo story basically is that in the Portuguese press this morning, they said that Ronaldo's made an irreversible decision to leave Real Madrid, which obviously has direct ramifications, because if Ronaldo leaves Real Madrid, United fans start thinking, please come here, please come here. Of course, I want him to come here. But the interesting thing about it is I mean, I do have the odd little bet. I'm not going to have a bet on Ronaldo coming to Manchester United, but I do look at the bookies, because not to always have a bet, but the bookies are always worth a look at in relation to transfers, because you can sort of gauge, like 2-1 is quite a good odds, but in betting terms, 2-1 is still quite outside. 4-1 means it's not going to happen. Ronaldo's 4-1 to go to United and PSG, and he's like pretty much evens to stay at Real Madrid. That tells you everything you need to know about that. Everybody's been down this path before. Everybody expects him to stay at Real Madrid. It's a bit like the boy who's cried wolf. He's done it so many times, I'm going to leave Real Madrid. Certainly the last 2 summers. Last summer in June, at the end of June, he said it. And now, well, he hasn't never said it, has he? But it gets leaked out. So I can't see it happening. Jovan Jackson, swap Daley Blind for Jordan Lukaku. If anyone doesn't know who Jordan Lukaku is, he plays left wing back for Lazio. I really, really like him. I think he's a bit unlucky not to be part of the Belgian World Cup squad. Nothing like Romelu. He's got a good touch. He's quick and he's strong, and I like him. I don't know whether he could make that step up, but I do think we'll see him in the Premier League at some point. He's a good player. Where's the mods? Ain't seen one, says Carl Watkins. Yeah, good point. I don't know where any of them are tonight. And I think United should sign Iago Aspas. Is he not the one who used to play for Liverpool? No, thank you. No, thank you. Sanchez and Rashford for Ronaldo, says Akil. I mean, we're talking now what you would do to get rid... what you would give up to get Marcus Rashford, which is interesting. Somebody just mentioned something to me. I'm just going to have a very quick check about it, because there might be something in it. So let's have a look. Anyway, sorry, I should have said this a long time ago. The reason we are live a little bit earlier tonight, 7 p.m. UK time instead of 8 p.m. UK time, is because England are playing. England are playing Costa Rica, and we've got a watch along on That's Football. If you want to join us for that, please do. So we've done it an hour early tonight just for that reason. Back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as per usual. So, yes. A few people asking about Anthony Martial. Nothing at the moment. My theory on Martial is still the same. I'm still going to work along with the theory that he is going to be leaving Manchester United, because I think then, if he stays, it's a really positive thing for us. So, very, very happy. A lot of people talking about Fred being injured. There is no confirmation that he has been injured at all. He's taken a tackle from Casemiro. He's got a sore ankle, and that's about it. I wouldn't worry about it. And the reality is, our season doesn't start for 3 months. Of course, him going to the World Cup's nice, But the reality is, he's a squad player for Brazil anyway. He's not a first teamer. So we probably weren't going to get to see a lot of him in the World Cup anyway. As long as it's not something serious, I wouldn't really worry about it too much. And I don't think it's going to be anything serious. Devon Patel, Mourinho, top class. Faison Chowdhury, I've answered your Martial news there. Right, chuck us a few questions into the live comments. And, what I'll do is, just before we start taking some of your questions, apparently Spurs rejected a £55 million bid for Alderweireld. Well, interesting. Is Savic still a target, says Beast Gamer HD? I hope so. Do you think Jose will stay if we win the title next year, Canal? I think that's the only way he will stay. I think if we have a season like last season, he won't stay, unless we suddenly start playing great football. What is happening with the De Gea rumours, says Beast Gamer. I'm not aware of any De Gea rumours. As far as I'm concerned, De Gea will stay, and I'm pretty confident that that's going to happen. And I still think there's a great story waiting to be written with Jose Mourinho, says Russell Nyoni. I like that. I like that comment a lot. And how tall are you, Mark? 6 foot. Would I swap Martial for Ronaldo, Nabil Khan? Never. He's about the only player in the United squad I wouldn't swap for Ronaldo. I want Martial to stay. I don't think he is going to stay, but I want him to stay. Here's Matthew McFadden. After this, everyone, head over to That's Football. Yes, do. 7:30 tonight. I think we're live on That's Football with a watch-along. If you're watching that, and that explains your comment, Neilabo. No 8 p.m. show tonight because there's an England watch-along on That's Football. Well, England are playing. That's why we've done it an hour early. So, never normally do that, but we have. I think Pereira will get opportunities this season, says Navni. I'd love to see that happen. I really would. What place do you think Manchester United will finish next season? I'm not going to put anything on that until I know what the team looks like, or the squad looks like at the start of August. Thiago, if he's going to leave Bayern Munich, I think Pep would never let him come to United. He would swoop in and get him at City. He's a perfect player. Perfect player for Manchester City, Thiago Alcantara. We had our chance and Moyes blew it. He would have come to us over Bayern Munich. It was pretty much... Now, I remember that deal. It was pretty much nailed on that he was coming to us. All the positive things. And even afterwards, I think his agent or his dad said that United were just unsure on the deal. They dillied and dallied so long. They were so unsure about it that we just went Bayern Munich. And a bit like Renato Sanchez, which we probably dodged the bullet there. But Thiago, we should have got him. He would have been great. Although having said that, if I remember rightly with Thiago, when he signed for Bayern Munich, I think he did get quite a bad injury and he was out for a long time straight away. So who would you prefer, Dybala or Griezmann? Griezmann, Hamza. Always Griezmann for me. Always Griezmann for me. I think Lingard's going to have a good tournament, Jovan. I think he'll have a good tournament, but I don't think you can win a title with Lingard in your first team. I think he's a squad player. Justin Kluivert looks like he's going to Roma. Yeah, that's been going on for a while. Ryan Evans, don't ever mention that name in our live comments again. He's not even real. That person on Twitter is not real. Matthew McFadden, have a little chat about who he's talking about and tell him it's not even real. It's a fake agent. He's been asked to come on loads of shows and loads of websites, and he doesn't because he basically just follows people and tweets stuff out. We do need a backup striker, says Roberts, and we've had a super chat here from James Howell. We need to stop loser negativity. We can go for any top world-class players, but please, Jose, stop begging Fellaini caliber players to stay. Well, we spoke about that last night. I think you're spot on with that. But apparently, it is even now still on the board for Mourinho to give that Fellaini that contract. Anyway, link in the video description. This is Super Brew. It's our World Cup Predictor Programme game. We've got our own league, our own United Stand World Cup Predictor League. Now, if people don't know how you play this, effectively, go through the link in the video description. It's free to play. There's no money involved. It is bang free to play. It's a good United Stand, bit of banter and competition we can have during the World Cup. And the way it works is click the link in the video description, and all you're doing is you're just going to your matches and you're picking your score prediction for each World Cup game. So Russia versus Saudi Arabia, I'm going to go 2-1, and then you can go ahead to all your group games. If you want to go and get your picks in already, you can, or you can just do it day by day. lock your pick, and then it's in. We've got a few people entering it already, which is great. And how you score your points is you get 2 points if you get an exact score. So if 2-1 happens, you get 2 points. If you just get the score right, so if Russia won 5-0, I'd get 1 point because they did win the game. Or if I went 2-2 but it was 4-all, I'd get 1 point. Exact score gets you 2 points. Score right gets you 1 point. Score close gets you another half point, so you can get 1.5 points. So score close normally would mean if Russia won 1-0, it's the same, isn't it? It's a 1-goal win. Or if they won 3-1, it's close to 2-1. So that's how it works. But basically, score predictor for the World Cup, link in the video description, free to play. All you're doing is picking your scores for every game, and then there's a league that will go throughout the World Cup. We're going to be going to this throughout the World Cup on the United stand, shouting people out who's doing well. And yeah, a little bit of fun for the United stand through Super Brew for the World Cup. So get involved. Want as many people to get involved as possible. It's free to play. Doesn't matter where you are in the world either. I think everyone can play it. It is free. And I'm sure we'll have a bit of fun. Because I'm very, very excited about the World Cup. I don't know about you lot, but I really am excited about the World Cup. Can't wait for it. So bring it on, I say. And get involved in it, United Stand community. I think it's going to be good fun. Right, so another super chat here from Jay Wood. He says, Jose went to Romania to watch Stair striker Dennis Mann. Know anything about him? Purposely haven't mentioned it, Jay, because I think it's a load of nonsense. It's coming from the club chairman, isn't it? Young lad, don't know anything about him. Don't think we're going to sign him. So I haven't mentioned it. Fred injures ankle at Brazil training session, reported by Sky Sports, says Akshay. We didn't need to see Sky Sports for that. Anyone could have told you that. The picture's there. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And Bad Brab says, looks fun, Mark. Yeah, totally free to play it. No money involved. It is just a United Stand game that we did last season through the Premier League season that you can all get involved in. And what we'll do is throughout the World Cup, we'll go and have a look after every game and see who's doing well in the league. But I intend to win it. I don't do things if I'm not going to win it. Goldbridge is already in there, so you can see me on there. Martial or Sanchez, says MMVVik. Over to you, everybody. Martial for me. Do you think Griezmann can play on the right wing, says Saga? I do, but he won't be playing for Manchester United. I'd love to see Rooney come back, says Tony Lee. Oh dear, I don't know about that. I'd like to see him go back in time 10 years and then play for United. I don't think Rooney anymore. I think he was right to go when he did. Do I think Tottenham will get Anthony Martial, says Lucas? I know I've seen them rumours. We spoke about it on Transfer Daily. I can't see it happening. I can't see it happening at all. No, not at all. I think that if United do let Martial go, which I still think could happen because Martial wants to go. I'm not saying he does want to go. I'm just saying if you are Anthony Martial. I mean, let's just have a look at that for a minute. I'll give you a scenario here and you make your own minds up. You have a difficult first season with a new manager. You work your bottom off in the summer and you come back and you're on the bench. You come off the bench, you're scoring goals and you're creating goals. You get into the first team, you're scoring goals and you're creating goals. Comes to January, you're up there as probably the player of the year, outfield player of the year. In January, you score 3 goals in a row for the Premier League in 3 Premier League games. You score a winner in a 1-0 game away to Burnley, and 3 days later, they sign Alexis Sanchez, they move you to the right wing, then they drop you, and you're out the team. And you miss out on the World Cup. So Anthony Martial, if he looks at that and goes, what did I do wrong? What more could I have done? I mean, Anthony Martial, statistically, has the best in our entire squad goals to game ratio. He scores more goals than anybody per minute. So he didn't do anything wrong last year. Mourinho just chose to buy Sanchez and drop him. That was Mourinho's choice. And as the manager, that's up to him. So when people start talking about, are United going to sell Martial? Well, yeah, maybe Mourinho wants to sell him because he doesn't seem to want to play him. But maybe United do want him to sign a new contract. Maybe Martial might look at those facts I've just given you there and go, I need to go. I'm not signing a new contract. I need to go. So if Martial signs a new contract and stays, I'll be very surprised and I'll be very, very happy because that's got to mean that Mourinho wants him to stay and it's got to mean that Martial wants to stay. But at the moment, I still think he'll go. But I can't see that. I don't think the club wants to sell him because he's so young and he could go on and be brilliant, which I think he will do. And if they did sell him, I don't think they would want him coming anywhere near a Premier League club. Nowhere near. Lee Matthews says, get rid of Mourinho, not Martial. Calm says, I don't know how you can say Ronaldo is better than Messi with a straight face. Mate, very easily. I genuinely believe it. If you're asking me who I want in my team, it's Ronaldo. Because Messi's a fantastic talent, but you can't knock a man who's not as talented as Messi, but achieves more than him through hard work, physique and ability. So it's natural talent, definitely Messi. But Messi hides in a bubble of Barcelona surrounded by great players. What's he done in an Argentinian team? World Cup final, didn't win it. Ronaldo has done it in the Premier League. He's done it in La Liga. And also, I'm not... Can Messi get on the end of a cross? Can Messi hold the ball up? No. I think with Ronaldo, you get a whole lot more. I just prefer Ronaldo. If you prefer Messi, that's fine. But never ever tell me that I'm an idiot for choosing Ronaldo over Messi. Well, you might think that. That's fine. That's your opinion. But it's certainly not set in stone that Messi's better than Ronaldo. I know a lot of people who would take Ronaldo over Messi. But I don't want to get dragged into that debate because it's always a divider. I'm not answering any of your little dude Messi is way better thing because I disagree with you. I respect your opinion. Now I've given you mine. You will never change my mind. Ronaldo every day of the week and Sunday. Where's the last time? Oh yeah, see, people are wanting. This debate will never end, will it? This will never end. Here we go. I like this sort of comment. This comment from Shanna's Claw. I'm sure it's a troll comment. Martial is too lazy and moody. Yeah, the ridiculous comment that's not even true. Again, look at the statistics. He tackles back. He made more tackles than Rashford last season. He tracked back more than Rashford last season. It's a total myth. It's a total myth. And out of 10, how much do you rate that Bale will come to Manchester United, says Sorgat Garang. Out of 10, 3. Manchester United, the situation with Gareth Bale is obvious and not well known. Manchester United, if Gareth Bale wants to leave Real Madrid, Manchester United are interested. But that's been the same for the last 3 or 4 years. Gareth Bale, I don't think, will leave Real Madrid. Gareth Bale doesn't want to come to Manchester United at the moment. Gareth Bale was unhappy with the way he was treated by Zidane. There's a new manager coming in, and if Real Madrid want Bale, he'll stay. If Real Madrid don't want Bale, he will leave, and then that's when United will become a factor in it as a competitor to sign him. But it's all if, buts and maybes. And actually, should we be hanging around to see if Bale wants to leave Real Madrid or not? Some would say yes. I would say let's look at other targets, to be honest. I haven't asked you yet. Please do drop a like on the video. It's always nice to try and get 1,000 likes while we're live. So please do drop a like on the video. Lots of great comments tonight as well. We've spoken about Ronaldo, we've spoken about Mourinho, we've spoken about Fred's injury, which I don't think is going to be that bad. All I would say about the Fred thing is, seriously, if you are worried about it, why are you worried about it? He's still this great player that I think he's going to be a great player for United because he's something very, very different. He's done very well in the Champions League. I think he's a really, really good player. If he's had a knock on the ankle in a training tackle, I mean, there's no need to have a go at Casemiro. These things happen all the time. He needs to get used to that in the Premier League. If he misses the World Cup because he's damaged his ankle, at the end of the day, it's probably better for United because he's probably going to be out for about 6 weeks. He'll be back fit in the middle of July. He'll go on the US tour. Fine. If he goes all the way through the World Cup stage, he's probably not going on the US tour because if Brazil go all the way to the final, that's the middle of July. Then he's got 2 weeks off. He'd barely be ready for the start of the season anyway. And this is something that I don't think people have thought through. If Brazil gets to the World Cup final or the semi-finals, Fred probably won't play the first game of the season because he won't actually link up with the team until the early days of August. If he's had a knock on his ankle and he's out for a few weeks and they don't take him to the World Cup, he will go on the US tour and he'll be ready for us, fit. So actually, I know what you're thinking. It is disappointing if it's true, but he's not part of the Brazil first team anyway. He probably wouldn't have got much time anyway. If it's a slight knock that puts him out, it might be better for us anyway. But I don't think it will. I think he'll still go to the World Cup. I think he'll be absolutely fine. Mourinho wants a forward and no left back, says Paul Massey. Thanks for the contribution. And Fred and Delo are interesting signings, says Sweeney Records. Yeah, I think they will be as well. And Ben Kelvin says, video idea. How does Mourinho team and players stand up against Moyes and Van Gaal's team? Does Mourinho have a better squad and better backing? Yes, I don't know whether he's quite had the same backing as Van Gaal yet, because Van Gaal spent a lot of money. He's definitely had more backing than Moyes. I think Moyes could have had backing, but he just dillied and dallied on so many signings. He only bought Fellaini and Matic, didn't he? So, Moyes... I mean, to be honest with you, Moyes' squad was probably better than this squad, because it still had... They were coming towards the end of their careers, but it still had Ferdinand, Vidic and Evra. It still had Giggs as part of it. And it still had Rooney, which was 5 years ago, Rooney. It still had Van Persie, who just won a title. And it was a decent squad. But Van Gaal had slightly older Van Persie and Rooney. And he also had lost leaders. I think the thing about Moyes, the Moyes team, is that Moyes messed up when he came in the door and he got rid of the coaching staff and he said it's my way or the highway. And he said to leaders like Vidic and Ferdinand, go and still study Phil Jagielka. Moyes had the advantage because he had the leaders. And ever since those leaders left, we never replaced them. That's where United have gone wrong. They may have been old, Giggs and Everett and Ferdinand and Vidic, but they were leaders. And we don't have leaders at the moment. We don't. Mourinho has made the best signing since Fergie, says Massey123. Yeah. Has he though? Has he though? I think the only two players that have definitely made it Mourinho is Lukaku and Matic, because has Pogba been the star signing we wanted him to be? Debatable. Zlatan was good but got injured. Lindelof's not going well at the moment. Bay's not going well at the moment. Mkhitaryan was sold. Who else is there? There's somebody else. And he's made two signings now that I think will be good as well. So I think Mourinho has made the better signings, but they've not all been brilliant, have they, so far? Ronaldo goal videos plays a lot. Is that a sign? Says Shisha Sandeep. Yeah, United can't stop doing that, can they? They really can't. There's no 8 o'clock show tonight, Kevin McHugh. That would be very, very silly to do a 7 o'clock show and then an 8 o'clock show. We're not doing an 8 o'clock show tonight because we are there's a watch along on That's Football for the England versus Costa Rica game. So going to watch that. Only a week to go to the World Cup, so just want to watch England and chill out a bit tonight because it's been a busy few days. We will be back in the morning with Transfer Daily at 7 a.m. though. Thanks everybody who's watched tonight. Please do drop a like on your way out. Really, really appreciate everyone who's getting involved in the shows. It's been a really, really interesting week for Manchester United, and I think we're going to start going again on some other transfers very, very soon, which is good from a United point of view. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in a watch-along, we've not done one in here for a while, have we? But if you are interested in a watch-along, England versus Costa Rica live on That's Football, which is our more channel that covers everything, and we will be doing a lot of World Cup watch-alongs on there. So get involved. Thanks everyone who's been watching live. You're absolutely fantastic. And drop a like on video. I'll speak to you soon. And don't forget, link in the video description for the Super Brew World Cup Predictor. It's free to play. Get on there. Get yourself signed up. You can even fill out your predicted scores now if you want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it day by day because obviously it would be silly to start going and filling all the results out because there's 3 games for everyone to play. But free to play, and we will be coming back to that on the streams, seeing how people are doing. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.